All right, welcome to the details now. Today, representatives from the 10 regions of Ghana are being elected to become members of the Council of State, a group of highly esteemed individuals who will be advising the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Well, we're going to start in the Upper East region. The Upper East Region Council of State election is reportedly in limbo due to controversy over reps from the Nabdam district. Now, 4 people have been selected at separate functions to represent the district instead of 2. Our Upper East Regional correspondent Abel Sori reports that this has led to an injunction being placed on the elections. The EC, we're told, is in consultation with the Attorney General's office to ascertain whether the election can go ahead despite the injunction. Joining me on the telephone line now is the man Albert. Albert is on the ground. Hello, Albert.
Hello, Gifty.
What more do we know about this injunction at this point?
Yes, so the injunction was placed because it was unclear which of these 4 people. You know, we have 13 districts in the Upper East region, and each district is supposed to select 2 people who will come and vote in this election. Now, apparently, the Nabdam district, instead of 2 people, selected 4 people. And this was because we are told that the presiding member of the area organized an election that selected 2 people, and the district coordinating director for the area apparently also spearheaded another election that elected 2 other people. It is unclear how this happened because they haven't been available for comment, but this is how we are told the issue happened. And so because of that, they didn't know which 2 people out of the 4 were going to vote in this election, and that's how come the injunction was placed. And so this morning, when they got here, we were told that the Electoral Commission had intended to go ahead with the election without representatives from the Nabdam district voting. But before they could do that, they decided it would be better to consult the Attorney General's department to find out if there will be any legal implications to go ahead with the election without the reps from the Nabdam district taking part. And so that is how come the election has not yet taken place. I moved away a little and I just got back to the venue because we heard that the issue has now been resolved. And so people have started coming back to the venue, which was empty, from 12 midday up to this point. The whole venue was empty. But people have started moving back here because we are told that the issue has been resolved. So we are here to find out what they have decided, whether they've managed to decide on which 2 people from the Nabdam district are voting, or they are going to go ahead without representatives from the Nabdam district voting. That is what I am here to find out. But we are told that the issue has been resolved.
The issue has been resolved. So at this point, we're waiting to find out if the election will be progressing. Is that correct?
Yes. I just got here and I had to move away to make this call.
Okay.
But inside the hall, I'm told that the Electoral Commission officials are setting up for the election to take place, and people have started moving here. So very soon we'll find out if the election will indeed go on or otherwise. But it looks most certain that the election will go on at this point.
Okay. Well, what it means is that we may have to come back to you to find out what the latest information is, since you just got there. Albert Sori is our Upper East Regional correspondent there. We'll be getting back to him for some more information on what's happening in the Upper East region. In the meantime, though, let's return to Accra, where 37-year-old economist Nii Kotei Dzani has been elected as a representative for the Greater Accra region on the Council of State. Now, former Minister of State E.T. Mensah, who had been tipped as one of the favorites, pulled out of the race at the last minute, paving way for a close fight between Nii Kotei Dzani and Nene Kano Atiapa III. Dawn News' Joseph Akable observed the elections. He joins me now in the studio. Well, the understanding we've had prior to the election was that 16 people, including E.T. Mensah, were to contest. How did we end up at 13, and particularly why did E.T. Mensah pull out?
So at best, what we can explain as the reason is the fact that he says personal reasons. In fact, when I got to the venue, the Electoral Commission's Director of Communication, Mr. Eric Japas, he explained to me that the Commission had received a letter this morning from him, but the letter was dated yesterday, and he had told the Commission that he was unable to contest due to personal reasons, for which he has decided not to take part in the process so far. Apart from him, 2 other candidates also pulled out of the race. They also talked about the fact that Nene Atiapa was their senior, and they were of the view that he should go ahead and contest, so they also pulled out. So that was how come we ended up with 13 instead of the original 16 they were supposed to contest.
I saw a while ago, before you came on the screen, we were seeing visuals of the voting process. How would you describe it? Generally, how did it go?
It was a smooth process, one that lasted less than 30 minutes. And the reason being that in the Greater Accra, the assemblies are 16 assemblies now.
Okay. We
understand that 2 representatives are supposed to come from each assembly, and that makes it 32. So that explains how it was much easier and it didn't take that long a time. It was just at the initial point that people had a problem with how the voting booth had been positioned. They wanted it to face the wall so that when someone is standing behind it, his ballot is not visible. So that was also addressed. So apart from that, generally, it was a smooth process. Voting lasted, like I said, less than 30 minutes. Counting proceeded immediately, and within some 15 minutes, the results was available for all to know.
Now we're looking at Nii Kotei Dzani. Who is he? What do we know of him?
He is the CEO for Ideal Financial Holdings.
Okay.
Apart from that, he's an economist as well. And his close contender in this race was Nii Atiapa. He's a traditional ruler. Now, prior to that...
Ningo.
Exactly.
Right.
And also he's the vice president of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs.
Okay.
So he also wields quite a lot of power. And even prior to the polls, I mean, many had tipped Nii Atiapa as the MPP candidate in court. You know, some of these things, even though we expect it to be without politics, there is some kind of politics in it. So those were some of the things that we picked when we got to the grounds. But at the close of polls, I mean, it didn't go his way.
What was the reaction? I mean, I'm interested to know what the reaction was. What was the mood following the results? I mean, it of course depends on whether or not they thought they were going to win in the first place.
Prior to the results itself, I mean, they were all confident of winning. And again, another interesting thing I must put out is the fact that at the close of the election, apart from the two candidates, Nii Kotei Dzani, he had 20 votes, with the other candidates, Nii Atiapa, having 12 votes. All the other candidates had 0. So that is also another very interesting one there. So we can watch the Electoral Commission official declare the results, and you realize that apart from the two, all other candidates couldn't get a single vote.
I see. Okay, let's see that now.
Our candidate, number 1, Stephen Teria Odonko, had none. Our second candidate, Homeko Gilbert Blake, had none. Zero. Our third candidate, withdrawn. Our third candidate, Lawrence Noboa, had 0. Our fourth candidate withdrawn from the contest. The fifth candidate, Frederick Green, had 0. Our sixth candidate, Nii Kotei Dzani, had 12 votes. Our seventh candidate, Desmond Kofi Deka, had none, 0. Our eighth candidate, Dr. Nicholas Nii Anan, had 0. Our ninth candidate, Nii Kotei Dzani, had 20 votes. Our number 10 candidate, John Opintan, had 0. 11th candidate withdrew from the contest, the same as our number 12 candidate. Number 13 candidate, Mrs. Alberta Sichofe Aduko Azula, had 0. Number 14 candidate, Samuel Kona Adams, had 0. Our 13th candidate, Nii Okanja III, had 0. And then our last candidate, Nii Note Tuakan II, had 0. So based on these results and the power conferred on me by the Commission as the returning officer for Greater Accra region for the election of a member to represent Greater Accra at the Council of State, it is my privilege and honor to declare Nii Kotei Dzani as the winner.
So that is the returning officer there announcing Nii Kotei Dzani as the winner. You've spoken about who he is already. What did he have to say after the election?
You know, he's more into business, and he says that going forward, serving on the Council of State, he wants to be advising the president to look more at entrepreneurial activities in the country.
Okay, well, we can hear him on that now.
Captain of Israel's and guide of all who seek the land above, beneath thy shadow we abide, the crown of thy protecting love, our strength, thy grace, thy rule, thy way, thy glory of the Lord. Indeed, our end will be the glory of God. I want to thank God Almighty for giving me this opportunity even to be here today. I want to thank the chiefs and the people of the Greater Accra region for even considering me to contest this election. I want to thank the candidates for contesting, and especially I also want to thank the various district assemblies from all walks of life for supporting my this bid. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about somebody who is going to represent Greater Accra region and advise the president and ensure that our region become Greater Accra as our forefathers wanted to be.
Thank you.
I am an entrepreneur by excellence, and I'm going to bring my entrepreneurial skills in moving this region forward. I thank all of you for your support.
Thank you.
I can show you tomorrow, I'll have a press conference, and you'll know what next. But let me use this opportunity to thank all those who are invested in me. I want to thank my wife, Selassie. This morning she prayed for me, and I want to thank her for all that. I also want to thank everybody in this region who supported me. Thank you, and God bless you.
Nii Kotei Dzani there, who's going to represent the Greater Accra region on the Council of State, and of course earning what, 13,000 is it? Exactly. Right. Okay. And also advising the president with the faith that the president will heed to the advice that they give.
Yeah, I mean, the expectation is that some good advice should be coming from him.
That some good advice will come from him. Let's talk about the other candidate. They must be sad, or was it? You know, it's okay.
Well, they were not so happy. I mean, I spoke to two young ones and also an elderly one.
Those who got zero?
Yes, I mean, they all got zero.
But seriously?
So there's one gentleman, he is 24-year-old, he's the youngest, he was another 26-year-old. For both of them, they seemed a bit okay. But the elderly man, that is Samuel Mensah, now he was saying that he clearly doesn't understand why he couldn't obtain even a vote.
Even a vote? He didn't speak to the candidate?
No, he says it's impossible.
Okay, let's watch him say that.
At the end of the day, democracy did not win. Democracy by Abraham Lincoln should be government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And clearly, democracy has been cheated today. But I am happy with the way things have gone. With the limited.
When you say democracy has been cheated, what do you mean? We were here, it was a transparent process.
It was a transparent process, but I don't know what goes on at the background. I must tell you, a lot goes on in election, and in negotiations and talking to delegates, it goes beyond just coming here to come and vote. So I'm telling you today, democracy has been cheated, and I am so disappointed and with the way delegates have voted today. At the end of the day, they voted for someone younger, Nii Kotei Dzani. I wish him the very best, and I hope he will represent our interests and represent the interests of the youth in this country. He's much younger, 36-year-old. I'm only backing him to go to the top and fulfill the promises, but this is not the end of the road. With the limited resources I had, I'm able to impact and also able to inspire the youth to take up good mantles and take up opportunities in life. So at the end of the day, I must say I'm happy with myself and the input I was able to make today.
What's the way forward for you? Is this the end of your political career, if we have to describe it as such?
Yeah, it doesn't end here. Desmond Kofideka, trust me, you are going to hear of him in 2019, 2020, and so this is not the end of the road.
It's not really surprising, but then first of all, I'm taking it in a good faith, but I believe that there is more to this, and if we can sit down for people who have the upper hand to influence our election in this country, and as it were, this small election that we are having, if people could influence it, I mean, I'm quite surprised. But then it's okay. I'm accepting in good faith, and I believe that we can still do more to help this country.
What exactly do you mean by people influencing this election?
Yeah, we've heard a lot of things, but I can't just disclose things out there. But what I'm saying is that there were some influences which actually affected this election.
You could see that two people or one person, boom, they give it to him. It's not fine. Are you telling me that I couldn't talk to people, I couldn't campaign? So not a single person knows me. And not a single person knows what I'm going to do for the president if I'm elected. All the programs that I've lined up, not even a single one is good. I'm talking to myself. So nobody, even not a person, voted. So it means that.
But you had a point.
Actually, he does have a point, doesn't he? I mean, he feels that there's something went wrong because it's not possible that no one will vote for him.
Well,
I mean, not even a single person.
Those are his views, but I mean, of course, and the point I was trying to put to him afterwards was that, I mean, he was inside there, he had a polling agent. They didn't raise any concerns about the process. So people voted, we all felt it was transparent, we counted, and that was what he had. I mean,
as they say, elections are won at the polling station.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, Joseph Akablay. Joseph Akablay has been our man following what's happening in the Greater Accra region, where a member of parliament, former member of parliament for Ningo Pramiti Mensah, stepped down. Well, we know a winner now, Nii Kotei Dzani. Let's now go to the Upper West region, where the president of the Regional House of Chief, Koro Richard Bambini Canton, has been elected as a Council of State member. He pulled more than half of the 22 votes cast. His closest challenger, 34-year-old Abubakar Muhaisin, who is an accountant, obtained 7 votes. Joining me now on the line is our Upper West Regional correspondent, Rafiq Salam, with more details. Hello, Rafiq.
Hello, Gifty.
Well, we do know a winner. Who is he? Give us a bit more details about him.
The winner, like you said, the president of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs is Koro Richard Bambini Canton. He's a 59-year-old tax collector with a customs, excise, and preventive service. And then also, we came into the race somebody who is perceived to be in the good books of the government because of his personal relationship with President Nana Akufo-Addo. And so, Koro Richard Bambini Canton was a front runner in the race, and he didn't really disappoint.
Well, in the Upper East region, very close to you, it's not been such a smooth process. How has it been in the Upper West region?
In the Upper West region, the process was very smooth. The only challenge that they had was last week when they had to come out with the 2 names from the 11 municipal districts in the Upper West region. But it's not easy because I have spoken to people around, and for them, they think that the electoral college should be expanded. They think that the 2 delegates that are appointed by the district assemblies is not representative of the region enough. And even some people are even pushing that they should make the various assemblymen in the various assemblies vote at their various assemblies so that they collect the results and then to get the actual winner. But it was a smooth process. But the other surprising thing about this election has to do with the 34-year-old accountant Abubakar Muhaisin. Many expected him. They saw that he was the underdog for the race, and then they thought that it was going to be a 2-horse race, one between Bankona, Matara, and then also the Tumukuru. But it was really shocking when the accountant pulled 7 out of the 22 votes. And so it's really an excellent process. But the people are really worried. I'm really worried. But they want the
electoral college expanded. Now, some people withdrew, we know. What were the reasons they gave for withdrawing from the race?
The reason they told us was that it was personal, but when I moved further, because yesterday we broke the news yesterday about a stepping down of the Dafemamna. Dafemamna and now Tukumuni probably is the current vice president of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs, and for him, he thought that it wouldn't be healthy for him to contest his boss, because he told me that the region has given them a 4-year mandate to take care of the Upper West region. And so if he contests against his boss, talking about the president of the House of Chiefs, it won't be held. That would strain their relationship, and that's the reason why he stepped down.
Okay.
And then the other person who also stepped down from the race was Nii Kotei, who also served as the acting president of the Zini Bua traditional area.
Okay.
Baninya Louis, he also stepped down, and he also cited the same reason as saying his personal reasons. And when you look at the Sisala land, that claim even gave the air to Kuru, which is Babidi Council to win. Because the Sisala district in the Upper West region, they're gotten 8 votes. And so they are thinking that all the 8 votes went on the way of Babidi Council. Everyone will have shared those votes.
Okay, Rafiq Salam, thank you very much. Rafiq Salam is our Upper West regional correspondent there, telling us how the process went down there. Mind you, we've got correspondents in the Ashanti region, the Central region, and we'll be getting updates from all of them. We've also got people from the Bunahafo region. This is the Pulse. We're still talking Council of States. We've done the Greater Accra region. We've gone to Upper West region. We've gone to Upper East region. Let's now go to the Eastern region. Nana Somwa Mreku won the elections there. Our correspondent Kofi Siao joins me now on the phone with more. Hello, Kofi. Hello, Kofi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. First of all, we know the winner, Nana Somwa Mreku. Who is he, and what has he been saying after his
he is the
victory?
62-year-old accountant and a businessman. He is the chief of Kwawu Asakraka in the Eastern region. And that is a brief, history or a brief summary about who the Council of State elect for the Eastern region is. So Nana is a businessman and an accountant by profession.
Okay, and what has he been saying? I mean, what does he bring on board, advising the president? Basically, what does he even think of the Council of State?
He has a vast knowledge in business, and also when it comes to chieftaincy issues, is there to support the president take decisions on certain issues that comes up. Again, he is also talking about the fact that people should diffuse their mind that the Council of State has become a rubber stamp, and anytime the president or the government of the day takes any decision, the responsibility of the Council of State has always been that they will support the decision of the president or the government in power. But he says he's bringing a new idea on board, and that with him as a Council of State rep for the Eastern region, it's going to be a different ballgame altogether. If the president says something and it doesn't sound well to him, he will oppose it. If it's okay to, he will do it as in favor of the president. So Nana Mreku Nyampong, who is the Asakaka chief, also talked about the fact that when there is election in the Eastern region, especially among the Council of State election, they should ensure that they have a level playing field. Because according to him, prior to these elections, some people had taken stance. They brought a certain candidate he describes as the anointed one. So he was like discontent with the action that the party took. So he appealed to them that they should give a level playing field so that next time whoever contests the position of a Council of State will know that he had a level playing field.
Okay, tell us briefly about his contenders, who went into this, and what perhaps will be the reasons why.
Well, 11 people showed up to contest the position of the Council of State, and out of the 11, 3 of them decided to step down for the 9 to go. And among the 9, 3 of the names were highly tipped to be winners of this contest. And the 3 names that came up, one of them who was highly tipped, that is Nana Somwa Mreku, actually won. In fact, if you listen to the regional executives of the NPP, their favorite actually was one ambassador, Aferi Apiedu, who was a former ambassador under President Kufuor to China. And he put 23 votes as against Nana Mreku's vote of 26. In fact, they were disappointed that their preferred candidate didn't win. But what else would they do? They had to take it like that. So they swallowed it as such, and they had to move on. So the other candidates who decided to step down, the three of them are Professor S.K.B. Asante. He's a lecturer, 84-year-old. Then one Nana Okrukata, who is also a chief in the Akwamu area. He also decided to bow out. Then one other person, he is Anthony Yao Jakpata. He also decided not to go again. But the other person who is who decided also not to go, decided to throw his weight behind Nana Somua Mreku Nyampong, who emerged as the eventual winner of this contest.
Thank you very much. We can now listen to Nana Somua Mreku's victory speech from the Eastern region.
It wasn't an easy fight, but my track record, it shows. I've been a chief about 27 years standing, and I've really served my community, especially the Opo community. So everybody knows that I'm not an ordinary chief. That's why I'm sure gave me the victory. The victory already have chopped is also the whole of the Eastern region.
So what are you advising the president on about Eastern region?
See, as we said, Eastern region don't have tribunals. We have a whole lot of tribes coming to Eastern region. One, we wouldn't be selective, we wouldn't be tribal nature, and then I'm sure we will advise the president, as I said, about the environmental problems people of Eastern region face.
Okay, Nana, during your acceptance speech, let me put it that way, you made mention or called for level playing field in elections. What exactly were you driving at?
Well, when I talk of level playing grounds,
well, very soon we'll be going across to the Ashanti region. We'll be going to the northern region for all the updates from what's happening with the Council of State elections that's underway across the country.